I want to take this opportunity to appreciate, to reflect on matters that have been raised here on this 5th session of the National Assembly. First and foremost, I want to congratulate all of you on behalf of His Excellency President Adama Barrow. All of you coming from different parties, all of you coming from different philosophical backgrounds, all of you who have interest in one way or the other, as Gambians and those living in the Gambia who are interested in seeing the Gambia move forward, I want to thank all of you for being here today and to thank the Lord Almighty who has given us the chance, the opportunity to be able to go through many years to finally come today to sit down and reflect about our country. I have heard a lot and we have noted, and I want to appreciate you on behalf of the executive. Some of them are here today, some are out unavoidably because of exigency of services. They are not being here, it's not to disrespect this house, but because it coincided with very unavoidable circumstances. That is why they are not here, but they are well represented. First and foremost, I just want to say, I want to express my appreciation to the Speaker of the National Assembly, my dear sister, friend, and a colleague, working together for many years. We want to say thank you very much for the exemplary leadership you have taken to move this National Assembly forward. A time that was full of doubts, a time that people did not have the opportunity of feeling that we would make it, a time that there were mixed feelings, a time where there were many uncertainties. And here we are today. You have done your job exemplarily. I have been here many times, and I respect your leadership, your experience, and your professionalism and resilience in conducting the affairs of this. I want to thank you on behalf of His Excellency and the entire executive of this government. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank all the members of the National Assembly, irrespective of where you are, and I have heard you talk, and it gives me hope. It gives us hope that we can do it, we have done it, and we are in a process. It never ends. You start through a journey, either you complete it or somebody comes to complete it, just like you have symbolized a few minutes ago, recognizing the passing away of 2 important National Assembly members who died. So also, today we should thank the Lord for ourselves to be here, to be able to continue this journey. The journey can never be ended. It's a process, and I want to emphasize that this process will continue. And we must understand that. If we understand that the journey is a process, then we will not give up. We will go with hope, with courage and resilience and focus to move the country forward. There were times where hope was lost. And there were times when people will say, let's watch and see what they will do. You have done extremely well. Irrespective of where you may come from, you have done extremely well, and I was very pleased and proud of all of you for coming in to put the Gambia forward, to think about the Gambia and the 53 bills that you have passed. You may joke, I don't know of the past, but I know it's exemplary. And you have put in your efforts. I have been part of those processes. I have seen those that have headed the committees, those that have engaged, and the critical questions that were asked for the opportunities that I have. I am impressed, and it gives me hope every day that this happens. There are challenges indeed which you have already outlined. It's normal. One, we have to celebrate the success, and I think there are more successes than failures, because bringing in 53 bills and deliberating on certain projects that are already being that is being visibilized everywhere, as you explain and as you talk, there will be some challenges, and I want to say that that is the real issue of development. Why do we call it development if there were no challenges? Why do we come in as a National Assembly? Why do we have our parties to come together to say, if you give me the opportunity, I'll be able to do X, Y, and Z? These are all reasons because there are challenges in our human existence, and these challenges are real. These are challenges also that may not surmount our abilities, but what is going to surmount our abilities is that no one government can finish it. No one government can finish it, and you have also explained, you have already exemplified that. For the successes that you have mentioned, we did it together under the leadership of His Excellency Adama Barrow, and under your tenureship, this is where these successes came. But then one thing that we have to recognize is that whatever we may do, if the enabling environment is not there, it's useless. And we have experienced as a country the past. We have history behind us that we can relate to. We have experiences that all of us can show. So without a leadership that believes in the will, the power, and the agency of people, it will never happen. And that is who President Barrow has brought in democracy with all of you. He has nurtured, he has tried his level best to nurture it with you. He has allowed the different arms of government to be independent as much as possible. We are on a journey. The issues you have raised are quite clearly appreciated, and we know they are real. They do occur, and we are aware of them. There are certain issues you have raised that have already been completed, but there are others that are processes. And one thing that we have to understand in development is that when you are in a democracy, you have to follow the rules. It's a rules-based relationship. You have to follow procedures. You have to respect the institutions as you are emphasizing. And this is something I think that has been clearly articulated by most of you about how this government has created the enabling environment for you to gain your independence, your autonomy, and working towards building your systems to be strong. And I believe you can see that this government has agreed on that, and we love it because this is what all of us have been fighting for, and it is going to continue. You are all aware of that. So it is not going to be one thing, let's do this and it happens. It's a process and a procedure. These bills were towards that. All the policies that come here, all the debates, all the appropriation bills, and all these things that there were times when this did not happen because it was considered a pariah state. Now we have a democracy. We have a democracy that is allowing people evolving, we are learning, and we must not lose hope. The ability is there, the opportunity is there, the will is there, because His Excellency is opening up the doors of creating a democracy that we should be proud of, not matter what our size is, but what we can deliver, and the whole world is watching us. The whole world is appreciating us, and we are trying to build up that. That is the stage where we are together, and we will always be together. Some of you might come back again. Some of you may not come back again. This is what it is all about, and this is what governance is all about. But nevertheless, I want to take this opportunity to appreciate one of the greatest veterans of the National Assembly, who is by the name of my brother, Honorable Halifa Sallah. Despite the fact that he belongs to a political party, what I saw of him when I came to the National Assembly is objectivity, engagement, commitment to the country and to the Gambia, and trying as much as possible to look at things objectively. I want to take this opportunity to thank you. To thank you on our behalf, on behalf of the executive, and on behalf of His Excellency, and on my personal behalf. We have engaged in different forums. We have seen the efforts that you have done, the true son of the soil. You have done a great work, and here today, you didn't give these people anything to say what they are saying about you. It's because you lived it, you acted it, and you're doing it. So that should be a big pride. It is a legacy that you have, and people will live. You will not wait for you to die. People will show you. I want to thank you, and the Gambian people want to thank you, and to tell you and appeal, just like all other Gambians are saying, that We will not leave you. We will look at you, we will work with you, and don't hesitate to engage when people come to you. You are now at that stage, and we need you more for all the work that you have done. And we want to appreciate that. To the National Assembly members, you are going to, some of you who are going to come back, I think we will get the institutional memory. We appreciate all the work that you have done. Those who are not coming back, it's not because you failed. This is what life is all about, and it's the people out there who are going to decide who is going to be who for their constituencies. And I believe that you have represented them very well. The issues you raised today is what I want to come into, is that you have the right to raise those issues. You cannot complete it. This is why you started the journey. The transformation that is going on cannot be finished during your time. Transformation is a continuous process, and even His Excellency President Barrow cannot finish it during his time. We need to build the institutions. We need to develop transparency. We need to bring in accountability. We need to engage, constructive engagement with the intellectuals, people who know what they are doing in the institutions, create independence of the institutions. The leadership has given that pathway. The leadership has shown the commitment to respect democracy, to promote good governance. He has achieved a lot, not because of him alone, he has done it with all of you. So I want us to continue on that spirit. Democracy is in the making, and we will make sure that democracy take its right courses. You have done very well. The honorable ministers are here. We have been taking a lot of notes. I wrote more than 30 pages within this short time, taking note of it as the head of government. It's not easy. We will definitely do our best, but remember, the type of inheritance we had, and the amount of money we found in the coffers, the amount of fear, panic, and pandemonium that happened, and the level of the institutions that we inherited. So it's not blaming anybody, but to look at the circumstances in which this government had inherited, and even the nature of the coalition government, bringing in all parties together, is historical. They were, but this one is historical because people were all focusing on, we want a change, we want a better life, we want a better Gambia, we want to provide this for people and that for people. That's why we came together. So that transformative process that is going on, we all have responsibility to do it. But if we want to, we cannot force people. We need to educate the people. We need to uplift them. We need to give them courage. We need to let them feel that these changes are real, that the change is going to occur not by coercive means, but it's going to occur by being empowered to understand that this change has to happen so that we maintain it, we sustain it. And this is the trajectory that His Excellency is taking. I believe some of you who have worked with him, you have all appreciated the balance he has made. He has recognized every party. There is multipartyism, there is pluralism, there is freedom of expression, there is access to information, and there is respect for the 3 tiers of this. We are not competing, we are working to enhance and to sustain an interface that will help us move the Gambia as one. You are very important, and all other status are important. So the ministers are going to, what I have taken note of, we will go back and reflect. Sometimes you may make the observation, but we have gone past that. There were challenges indeed, just like you are saying. Everybody faced challenges, and it is those challenges that we took to focus and move together. And the president, really, I'm not here to do politics. I am here to express what I have observed, because as a key member of the chain, as is mentioned somewhere, I want to protect the chain. We want to give it to our children. We want our children to inherit a peaceful Gambia, a successful Gambia, a progressive Gambia, a Gambia where people will come to learn what is democracy. And that you have started seeing that. Everybody is emulating what is going on in this country. Everybody is emulating the style of governance that is going on because of the type of leadership we have, and all of you engage. You are all leaders in your own rights. But the enabling environment must be there. We are no longer going to accept dictatorship, and it will never happen again. We have experienced it, and we are fighting to make it work. That is why it's good to be patient. We have to build the structures that will move, and we also have to be ready to give in. Maybe we are not going to benefit from it directly because it's a process, and those that we are building the Gambia for should be prepared to take up the mantle, and you have seen what is happening right now. I want to just say that the notes I have taken are well taken. We are going back. We will meet after the election. The National Assembly, the executive does a lot of reflection. We have focus, and the focus we have done with you people and us and the other actors is why we are basking in the glory of the achievements under the leadership of His Excellency President Barrow, and under your tenureship as National Assembly members. I want to honestly, transparently express that appreciation. So it's not, we are not at war. What we are trying to do is to protect this chain and to nurture democracy. It's not easy to nurture democracy because there are different shapes of democracy depending on the type of leadership that you have. But the type of leader we have now and what we are seeing with him, honestly, if we know how to move about the processes, we are going to be winners. Everybody is going to be a winner. So let us see the country first. The ministers, one of all of them, will also have time to respond to these things will come. But what I want to assure you that we have taken notes. We are going to go back to the drawing board. Most of what you have raised are very, very essential and very important, and is of concern to us also. But as we said, it's not easy. We need the resources. But you see the breakthrough that has been made in raising funds to fund our own locally driven projects. The Ministry of Finance has done extremely well. The GRA, you have the Ministry of Works, the infrastructure. You go to the Ministry of Health. If you look at health, and the type I happen to be there, so I am a witness to what I inherited in health. I thank the Lord the day I was removed from the health because of what we inherited. So to have a qualified doctor, experienced, committed, what he did and the trajectory he is following, if we follow it, we are going to succeed. It's going to be one of the ministries. Agriculture too. This is the lifeblood of the poor farmers. We're talking about food security. You have the vagaries of the weather and all those things. A lot of efforts are being done in order to raise the funds to support from. We need the support of our partners. We cannot afford to say we don't need the partners' support. We need them. There is nowhere in the world where you don't get it. But the issue is we reduce the amount of begging and go in to build, and that is what he is doing now. Minister of Finance is raising quite a lot of money. You go to defense. It was a very, very, very sensitive matter when we came in, but it was managed properly. A lot of work is going, the security sector reform is going. We are not here to be punitive. We don't want to bring in vendetta. We inherited a difficult situation, but we want to be very objective by following the rules of the game. Democracy about rule is about rules. You have already done the reforms, the studies, the assessments have been done. A lot of work is going on. Let us be patient and allow the rules to go along, to work on the reports. There are reports that are being raised. You are asking for many reports and many commission reports. They are there, but there are procedures that you have to follow in order to be able to deal with them. Because if we want to take the law in our hands, then we will be going back to the past, and that's not what we want. So I appeal to all of us to be patient. I want to tell you how much I revere you and how much the president reveres, and whatever we are doing, he says it has to go to parliament. So you are the arm that he trusts and the arm that he wants you to strengthen the democracy. He has the political will. He has the readiness for that. The power resides in his hands, but power is dispersed. He is dispersing all those powers. You all have your powers. We all have our powers. But those powers must be consolidated, must be managed in a way that will be positive to move this country forward. Politics is normal, and the more diverse it is, the better, because there will be diverse views, and then we'll be listening to what you are asking for. We will be asking, accommodating those things and looking at what is in the best interest of the population, and that's very important. One thing here, Honorable Salah, you have to be a consultant. You have done well in guiding a lot of processes. And here it has been said. You have done a lot, and I want to underscore that because I've been coming here. And I have been dealing with you. I've been following processes. that the Gambia needs that. Let us be selfless. Adam Barrow, His Excellency, is not the cause of any problem. He inherited the problem like all of us. So we need to help him. We need to support him. We need to guide him. We need to respond to his political will and the good feelings that he has for the country and the people of the Gambia to see that certain things, we are doing phenomenal plans, and we will see it in these 5 coming years. Those who are going to be here, let us come with open minds, come with seeing Gambia and the country, the people, irrespective of our various political persuasions, which makes it beautiful and makes it a democracy. But let us look at the people, let us look at the programs, the projects that are, the roads belong to everybody. The water projects, the hospital, agriculture, everything we think about in terms of development in this house is not about party, it's about the country and the policies that this government is putting in place in order to serve the people who brought all of us to where we are. That's what I want to assure you. So we are friends, Gambians, we are friends, National Assembly members, you have done a great job, and we want to thank also His Excellency President Barrow for his visionary leadership, his legendary leadership, his introduction of democracy. We all now know what democracy is in the past transition, and now here we are consolidating democracy. What we need is to be positive and bring in the positive vibes to the people, for the people, by the people, with the people, and with all of us bringing in the best we can. We are not endowed equally. Let's not fool ourselves. We are not. But we all have something to bring to the table to make it better. That is why our people selected all of you. That is why they have confidence in you. Now when we come, we have to respect and recognize those differences in order for us to move the country forward. Powers lie in your hand, but collective responsibility is everybody's, and we want to recognize people who have the ability to contribute, people who can put the country out there to do, because the leadership has already put the Gambian flag in the community of nations as a beacon of democracy, as a beacon of good governance, as a beacon of hope, bringing hope to the poor people, decentralizing, bringing in development, doing it for the people, and we are respected internationally because of his leadership qualities and style. So let us take the opportunity and work with him and support him so that at the end of his tenure, all of us will be proud to inherit institutions that we can say ours, irrespective of who and who are going to be there. So on that note, I want to say once again, Madam Speaker, may the Lord Almighty bless you and your team. You have worked with your team diligently. The staff are your core. They have done very well. I always call, my protocol always calls, because anything I want to do it to the best. I hate failure. I don't like failure. That's why when people are talking, I don't like quarreling, but it's always part of it. But we need to move forward, and when I come here, I send them, they respond. You are all able people. We have the ability, we have the capacity. It's just a question of focusing and then having the willingness to say, let us focus and diligent. We need attitudinal change. Attitudinal change in our system to be able to move on. Whatever you should do for 1 hour, don't leave it to the following day. Do it now. Anything that needs, the file that needs to be covered must be done. These are things that are very important if we want to really build on the achievements already done, and also to capture all the resources that are already outlying there, which we are not picking up, which we are not capturing. I believe that we are not capturing everything because of our lackadaisical attitude to work. And how we refer to say this is government property, these are National Assembly members, these are the executive. We must work together in unity of purpose and direction, in unison, to work with them and impress the public, impress ourselves and impress our partners who are ready to go all the way to give us the resources that we need, and also to mobilize the resources that we have efficiently, effectively, in this country, which already His Excellency has proven that we can build our roads by not taking loans, but by collecting the taxes efficiently, and people must pay their taxes. People must respect that. And let us respect each other and say that this is the transformation we want. Honorable Salah, you are part of the transformation. This is going to continue. Whether you are within or outside, it doesn't matter. But let us continue, all of us continue to make sure that we contribute effectively, efficiently. We all support His Excellency. The will is there. I know that the will is there. He is committed. He wants to do it, and he recognizes that he cannot do it alone. He has to do it with people who have the wherewithal, who have the support, and who have the commitment and are ready to serve this country. He will do it with them. I can assure you of that. So as you go out to the elections, you have raised some fundamental issues. With this, with peace and peaceful coexistence and respect for each other, I think is very, very, very important. It is important for the fact that we need this for us to bask in the glory of our success or successes. If we do not have peace, everything will dissipate and we become refugees, or we become people who abandon our countries and go and suffer more than anything. I think it is important we respect and underline and underscore peace. Peaceful coexistence will happen because we are not the same. We are different. It's a heterogeneous society, and nowhere in the world do you have any homogeneous society, nowhere. So if we are heterogeneous and we come from different backgrounds, we come from different areas, I think it is important for us to respect our individuality, our respect for human rights, respect for the individual opinions and so on, and then we peacefully coexist. Let us stop the insults. I appeal to our young people who are out there during elections, who are used as stocks sometimes, to deal with that. We have raised the issue here, and I'm talking about it because I know what you are saying is true. In the social media, if you go into the social media, sometimes you get depressed. I don't go to the social media. Nobody will see me except they blackmail me or put my name or use me as a pseudonym. But I don't go into the social media. You read those things or you see what comes to you, what they send to you, you start wondering, are these people appreciating the efforts? So let us all look at ourselves. Let us all try to not to use strategies that are going to be used to subvert each other. Let us try to be very transparent. Let us do what we can do and be fair to ourselves and fair to the people that we are representing. Sometimes we make mistakes. We feel that, let me tell them this, they will not know. It's not they are not stupid. They know. They are better politicians than us. So what do we do? Let us try, and the media has to be positive in one way. And I know that I'm not talking about the media as media, conventional media. Everybody is now a media person. You have your mobile, you do anything. So who do they blame? The media. The media has done extremely well. I have observed, I have seen your work. You have been diligent in this house. You've been following up, and anytime we call you, you come. Please keep that pace. This is what we need. The world has to know what is happening in Gambia and the new Gambia that is going on, and to show that we are really on the path to consolidate democracy. And I want to thank you. The work you are doing is great, so try to preserve your entity and make sure that people don't abuse it in the name of freedom of expression. There is real freedom of expression in this country, and we don't want to interfere with that. But let people change their attitudes. Let people be professional, and let people see the Gambia as it is about us, and not to fight people who are trying to bring these things. We have the diversity is normal. It's very important, and I want to thank you all for that great contributions that you have done, and let us continue to do so, because it's only when people know what we are doing that they are learning. We are getting a lot of requests for people wanting to come here and find out from His Excellency President Barrow, how did you manage to, after 22 years of dictatorship, be able to bring people together, pull all the parties, pull all the individuals with all the controversies and everything. How did you do it? We have received so many letters. It's because the media is showcasing the work and the results that are coming. The new Gambia is to help the young people come up. Now, for the young people, you must take your responsibility responsibly. You must try as much as possible to engage. You may not know it all, but you have had some of your young National Assembly members who said, when I was coming, I was a young boy. We came young, but now I have learned the ropes and so on. So this is great. This is a great listing, a great pride in trying to see a generation that is coming up to take over sooner or later. I think it's something that is very, very important. So people are here to set up those standards, to bring in those opportunities, to support the political will that is creating, that is great, is phenomenal. We all know that. So let us try to support and facilitate that process for him and all of you who are there representing your people. You are very important in this process to see that roads, water, electricity, people get food on their tables. Today I was earlier in that office in dealing with the study on the food analysis for agriculture. The level of food poor houses is so high, and COVID has come to exacerbate that. So what we need to do is to start focusing on supporting each other and creating opportunities for ourselves under the homegrown food systems for our children in schools and also in our farms, to ensure that we have enough that is brought in and processed, add value. So on that note, if I forget any one of you or I forget any issue, it's because we have noted it, and this is not the time to come and do and business to this. It's a question of reflections. It's a question of constructive engagement, and a day that we thank the Lord Almighty Allah for bringing us today to this level. There were people who fought and did not witness the day today. There were people who contested and did not win. You were the winners. And you have all come representing, wanting the Gambia, irrespective of your political platforms. So today is a day to celebrate all of you. It's a day to celebrate the Speaker, a day to give glory to the Lord Almighty and appreciate the exemplary leadership of His Excellency President Barrow. Because if the environment is not enabling, we have seen National Assembly members, I have been here in my field of activism to watch what has been going on in the past. So I want to underscore the nominated members' observation with regards to the type of leadership we have and the type of National Assembly we have now. We've seen the best of the people. So you will see that the leadership is a very key issue in what we are doing, and I want us to continue on that spirit. And on that note, I want to thank the population also for what they have done to bring you people here, for you to represent them, and that they have not made the wrong choices. They have done very well, but also to tell them that they should continue to be peaceful, do the elections peacefully, select your members peacefully. We are in a democracy. Democracy is flourishing. We want to consolidate it. We want to move the Gambia forward. We want to bring in peace, and it is only peace that all these things can be possible. You have seen what is happening in the world. And to thank you all of you, that to be patient. Development is a process. It's not one of, I want a hospital, then they build it today. Or I want rice, then we go to the farm and work it. It takes months. It takes weeks. We will constructively analyze some of the very salient issues you have raised, because the money that we need is not that we get it. The Gambia is a highly tax-generating country, but also the salaries are not very good, and you have seen what has been done not long ago. We have brought them, and we are trying to look for the revenue. So I will urge people to pay their taxes. I will urge people to try as much as possible to go into other ventures that will bring in development positively to the people. And the ministers, the executive, is doing everything it can, irrespective of which department or the sector you are handling. We inherited a lot of problems you may not know, but only Allah knows. But we have to be patient, we have to be focused, and we have to respect rules. Democracy is rules-based. We have to work with our partners and respect certain regulations. We have to put in place certain things and see what is in the best interest of our people, the best interest of our country, and deliver that, and it takes time. On that note, I want to also invite any of the ministers, whoever wants to respond immediately